Welcome everybody, it's another week of the VCS, and we here on VCS English are very excited to bring you another week of League of Legends. My name is Everyday, with me, as always on a Friday night, Rebel Fox and 𝘁𝘁𝗆𝘀𝘀𝘁𝑐𝗱. How are we this week?
Hopefully not tired enough to fall asleep right at the end of a broadcast like last week.
Alright.
Please don't.
𝘁𝘁𝗆𝘆𝘁, how are you?
The threat has been made. I am doing all right. It's been a busy week, but doing all right.
It's good news. We've got some good games tonight. We have a few of our top teams taking to the Rift, but we'll talk about the week in general. Just what games are you guys excited for? What teams are you really looking at? Rebel, you weren't on our podcast, so I'll get your opinion first.
I think the big thing for me after last week, and I know it was perhaps there's some scrutiny that should be applied to this particular series, but Team Secret beating GAM, maybe they turn a corner. Maybe they actually become a top team. This would be a week where they could start to solidify that. They can guarantee a win against Flash because they're the worst team in the league. And then a win against 𝘁𝗱𝗆𝘁𝗆𝘁, a team that's right above them in the standings, would also go a pretty long way. So for me, at least, I'm not necessarily looking for a specific series, but I am keeping my eye on Team Secret, which is ironic because of their symbol. But that's my idea for the week.
Fair enough. 𝘁𝘁𝗆𝘀𝘁, where are you looking?
I'm looking more or less in the same spot because Team Secret, we need to see if they can really knuckle down and secure that momentum that they've got going for themselves. But other than them, I'm really looking forward to seeing Cerberus. Maybe not this week because they play one game and it's today, and they may or may not be allowed to use their new import.
So,
but if they are, very exciting to see. If not, well, I'll be very excited to see them next week.
So on that topic, Cerberus is obviously, we'll talk more about this before he actually debuts, but our current understanding is Cerberus will not be allowed to use POS. The way it works is you get to add people to your team after the first round robin, and this is actually their last game of the first round robin. They haven't played SBTC before, and they don't play again this week, so technically they would be allowed Saturday, Sunday, but they don't play, so obviously they can't bring him out. But I mean, look, we've misunderstood VCS rules before, so there's every possibility they load in today and POS is playing. If he is, we'll explain everything then, but he shouldn't be.
Every possibility.
Great. Our first match tonight, though, is the 𝘁𝗱𝗆𝗆𝘁𝗆𝘀 taking on GLX. 𝘁𝗱𝗆𝗆𝗆𝗁 obviously shocked us with how they've started off this split. GLX, I think, are performing basically exactly as well as we thought they would. They're currently in 7th place, which makes sense considering 𝘁𝗱𝗆𝗆𝗁 is a lot better than expected. They just dropped down 1 in the power rankings. Rebel, do you have any thoughts on GLX?
I feel like GLX needs to figure out who they're using, whether it's 𝘁𝗨𝗁 or 𝘁𝗀. If it's in my opinion, I don't think 𝘁𝗁 gives you the same kind of immediate power that 𝘁𝗀 does, but I think 𝘁𝗁 has a higher ceiling eventually also. And this is a team of young players, so if they're building synergy and they're trying to build a longer lasting organization that's going to be here for a good amount of time, it's got to be GLX running 𝘁𝗁 from here on out. 𝘁𝗀's a great player. He deserves to be a starter somewhere, but for the moment, I think they're better off just making sure that their rookie jungler comes out and has good performances to build on.
I agree. And before we go over and get 𝘁𝘁𝗆𝗀𝘆's point of view, we will bring up our predictions down below so we can put our money where our mouth is and say how we think this one's going. 𝘁𝘁𝗆𝗀𝘆, what did you predict and why did you predict it?
2-0 SGB. 2-0 for the Buffalo. It's just, they have been across the board a very, very strong team, and GLX, they've mostly lived and died by their mid jungle. If whoever the jungler is at the moment is performing well, if 𝘁𝗏𝗆𝗆𝗁 is performing well, they're usually the lifeblood. Do we get 3 𝘁𝗀𝗆? Do we get 1 𝘁𝗀𝗆? We don't know. It depends on him a lot, but their bot lane is usually always kind of bad. 𝗲𝘲𝗺 has flashes of brilliance, but Shine has just been consistently one of the weaker members of the league itself. So when you're going up against a really well-performing bot lane and a very strong overall team that matches your strengths and then surpasses your weaknesses, it should just be a pretty easy game for Buffalo.
Fair enough. I am the only one that has predicted GLX to take a game. I think, in my opinion, Buffalo are just a little bit inconsistent, so I can see them losing a game. I don't necessarily have any good reasons on how they would lose a game, other than I think they're just that little bit inconsistent, and GLX could snatch one.
𝘁cie𝗱𝘆𝘀.
Yeah, I mean, 𝘁cie𝗱𝗆 has some pretty bad clangers so far this split. He has had some bad games. He's also had some fantastic games, so it definitely could go either way. Rebel, I know you've predicted the 2-0 for the Buffalo, but I'm going to make you argue against yourself. How can GLX pick up some wins?
First off, 𝘁𝗱𝗆𝗀, man, like, that's not just a meme. There's a reason why we spam it all the time. It's because individually he's an exceptionally good player, and they could definitely play to him. Another big thing is while 𝘁𝗄𝗎 likes to play around their jungle mid combination, and whether or not that happens to success, I think that Saigon's built around a very rough same premise. I think their pieces individually are a little bit better at doing so. But if 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀's not unlocked to the rest of the map, the way that 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀 also needs to be unlocked to the rest of the map, Saigon can fall trapped to the same exact problems that you would have it. So while normally I'm on the Frog Champ boat, if you're voting for GLX in this particular series, I would say that you're looking for 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀s to want to try to take it either in an individual matchup against 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀, where I think he has the advantage, or try to break him loose with something else, something they can get across the map. Twisted Fate, Galio, both good options. If not that, you got to move the jungle in. I think Soren's better for doing that, being able to have priority in the jungle and bust out the mid lane.
And there is also
Cook the frog.
There is a non-zero chance that 𝘁1 starts. He did play both of their games last time the SGB took to the Rift, to the disappointment of Marby.
That was RBY.
Oh, RBY. Sorry, I just got my.
𝘁1 is on secret.
I know. I got my subs mixed up. You're completely right. 𝘁1 is a support. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
RBY. My bad. RBY could take to the Rift. Now, Marby, I'm going to ask you to answer this without using the word frog. Would that be a mistake for SGB?
Yeah, I think so, because that is the strongest point for 𝘁𝗎𝗎𝗀 Luxury, that mid lane. So I think you want to put your best player into that position. You have to put your best player in. That is 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀. So
I mean, I don't know.
I think that's allowed to be said.
You use the word frog.
I was giving him that rule so he didn't just chant something about 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀.
The better one would have been don't say ribbit.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
I could have done that.
Yeah. So yeah, just I think you need your best player in to match GLX's strengths and make sure they can't utilize those strengths to gain an advantage.
Are we really living in a world where 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀 is SGB's best player?
𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀 is the second best mid laner in the league, and that hurts.
That's just untrue.
Who? 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀? Too inconsistent.
Petland.
Compared to 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀? Okay.
𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀 is very consistent.
Okay, but he still was down 20 CS while playing 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀.
Yeah.
That's not the consistency you want.
That's
he played mid lane 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀 and lost by 20
entire rest of the map that he is immaculate on.
That game did not demonstrate that.
No, you're right.
I would happily put 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀 third.
That 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀 mid lane.
Not second.
Recency bias is a thing for Artifact, though. Remember the first few weeks.
You are licking that toad. You are licking that toad real hard. You are. Are you 100% sure that you're currently on broadcast and you're not out there somewhere in the Nullarbor having licked a few toads and you're just off your tits?
I'm pretty sure, because look, I'm not the one licking old things found in the dirt.
Anyway, we move on. I mean, yeah, GLX definitely in with a rough time here, but 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 is actually a pretty interesting point. What do you think's going on with him? Because he's sometimes great and sometimes he's awful.
I think part of it is due to the fact that we've actually seen a pretty rapid shift within the top lane, because top lane for a long time was like an Aatrox meta, and then kind of was just like this weird full gore drinker and sustain meta, and now we're into like Gnar. Gnar came out of nowhere. Gnar hasn't been meta for years. A few other champions have popped up into that position. It feels like the top lane pool has good picks, but you're always looking for what your matchup is more than what the champions are. And I think that's a little jarring for some people that now, out of what seems like nowhere, it used to be mid lane that was far more important, but it feels like the mid lane pool has completely dropped off the earth, and it doesn't matter what you take as long as it's not Syndra, you're perfectly fine. But in the top lane, that matchup actually matters quite a bit more now, and so now, I mean, Hosman has to be a lot more diligent with what his matchup is, as do all top laners, and maybe that's something that still needs adjusting to for the moment.
Your hate for Syndra will never.
It matches
will
your
never
guys'
end.
hate for Gnar. It's the same.
I don't hate Gnar. He's a good lane bully. But anyway, we do head
Blind
into
Gnar.
champion select. SGB over on the blue side. They have a red name though. They are on the blue side. And GLX on the red. Olaf and energy removes. We are on 11.4, by the way. Marby, Rebel, do you have any takes on how that might change things?
It's going to be rough for SGB because tanks are much more prevalent on 11.4 in the top lane. Sion is a big pick in a lot of regions. So that could, and tanks usually aren't really Hosman's wheelhouse. So I think that could be a big point against them as we move forward.
Something that also changes this patch is bot lane meta, because A, this is when Jinx gets the big spike. B, this is when Caitlyn actually gets a really sizable spike. And then a far more surprising spike that I actually thought it was going to be. 𝘁cie got some nerfs. A few other champions are gutted and completely off. I'm looking at 𝘀cie𝗱𝘆𝘀. Hopefully it's not still picked. But then also the Braum coming into the bot lane, I think will be something else to at least consider on the bottom side of the map. So you even throw in something like Varus buffs, which don't look humongous, but given all the other changes to the bot lane meta, it wouldn't be shocking to see Varus Braum as a response, or Varus Tahm Kench, because those are champions that have kind of come back in. So there's a lot of bot lane stuff that changed with 11.4. I'm curious to see if either of these teams have picked it up fast enough to use it on stage already.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see if there's something like the Caitlyn, because I think we saw a few of those running around last year for some of these players. So we're gonna stick with jungle priority in terms of picking that up, but GLX is just gonna lock in a very strong bot lane for themselves, most likely.
I'm hoping they lock in Thresh. But they do pick the 𝘱𝑚𝑎. Okay, that's a strong bot lane. I don't mind it. I think some of the conventional wisdom at the moment is Jinx is just better 𝘱𝑚𝑎 in a lot of ways. But hey, maybe they haven't gotten enough practice in with it. 𝘱𝑚𝑎 has been much more recently meta. I don't think this is bad. Jinx would have been better, but that's fine.
I think Jinx is better 𝘱𝑚𝑎 in that she pairs slightly better with other supports, whereas if you have the Thresh lock in with you, you just go the 𝘱𝑚𝑎.
Okay.
But as we say that, it's going to be a lot of late game scaling in that bot lane. And this is a great time for me. I'm so happy to see the big man back. I'm the only one who's happy to see the big man back.
That's not true. I'm happy. I love me some Braum. Interesting there. We've got the Sortily locked on in, boys. Let's go. We've got Sortily. I mean, okay, you are very happy to see the Braum back. How is Braum Jinx as a lane pairing? I don't see too much inherent synergy.
So the main synergy is that the minigun stacking the minigun speed means you can stack the concussive blows extremely quickly. You can follow that up with the traps. It's not necessarily a strong lane synergy, but Braum just in general works really well with Jinx, as he provides that big bouncer type character that works really well at keeping us safe, especially against things like the 𝗀𝗏𝑦 spears and the like crescendum ults. Not crescendum. Moonlight Vigil, basically. That's the one. I thought crescendum was the name of the ult for some reason. I don't know. 𝘱𝑚𝑎 is dumb.
It's true.
And just being that big beefy frontline that gets in the way, and Braum serves that well. Braum has no bad match like synergies with VCS. He's so well designed.
That's very true. But of course, the bans are coming in. Malphite and Irelia being removed by GLX. Looks like they want to try and make 𝘁𝗀𝗀 a bit safer. Interesting they banned the Irelia, which has actually been a really good pick for Blazers. So they're sort of self-banning, as SGB do a little bit of the same as they ban out the Galio, a big champion for 𝘀𝗀𝗆, and the Syndra, saving themselves from an angry rebel, and Jace will be the lock-in. So 𝘁is definitely going to have to work hard. He's probably the only AP threat. Rebel, what are you thinking of these comps so far?
I think, okay, so we're going for poke composition on the side of GLX, where now you've got 𝘁𝑠𝑠, you've got Jace. 𝘁 being on sole AP isn't necessarily great in team comps for team fights, just because your damage is a bit more split, but it's really good for scaling 𝘁 into later game. This is a curiosity because I don't think this is impossible for Blazes to take into mid lane, and I was afraid of this as well, where you could just completely cancel this 𝘁𝗆 pick with any sort of tank. Sion's popped up really heavily in 11.4 and even into 11.5 as being a potential pick in the top lane, just in general, even in blind pick scenarios, and just denying all this damage. Really the only person.
That would be terrible.
Oh, they're not switching to Gnar, are they? Oh,
No!
Pain. Wait, oh, 𝘁𝗀𝗀. We're switching it from 𝘁 this time. We're going to 𝘁𝗀𝗀. 𝘁𝗀𝗀 0.
Oh.
I would have really liked the Sion. I think the Sion would have done
was
so much for this team. They picked a poke comp, at least two pieces of poke comp into the Braum. Yeah. Good decision. Yep, Braum's already there. Already does a pretty good job countering poke comps, and you then pick the Jace into it. And we have 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀, sorry.
So here's the thing with the Jace. I really liked the Jace pick. Yes, Braum does do well into poke comps, but with consistency in poke, it does reduce his effectiveness because you can just keep poking when the shield has already been used. If you have a big, beefy frontliner to keep that space in between, Gnar does not provide that. You also have that flexibility in case they went for the Sion blind pick, but they went for the double dive composition, which works really well into a poke composition if they don't have the peel. And what do you do but pick yourself no more peel? Like a Sion would have been fine. I would have really loved a Poppy in there for the team fight, but we get enough. We just get enough.
The one thing I will say about SGB's comp is I don't think 𝘁𝑠𝑠 is the best sole AP threat. Obviously 𝘁𝑠𝑠 can do a lot of damage, but she's not really a huge damage threat. She's more utility, more zoning, that kind of thing. So they could potentially struggle once a lot of armor gets built up, but of course, without that Sion, there's no huge, big, dedicated tank outside of the Gnar. But Rebel, we will have to say goodbye to you, but go ahead and give us your final thoughts and who will be winning game 1.
Not in love with the composition designed by GLX. I think it's hard to play, and I think even if it's played properly, it's still hard to win with. So I'm going to have to give it to 𝘁𝗀𝗆𝘆𝘀.
Fair enough. We'll talk to you again before the next game. See if you were right or wrong. I'm keen to see some 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀. Not a pick I would have associated with him, but I like it. I do like it a lot. We do have GLX disobeying the 𝘀𝗏𝗏 principle of picking CC. Very little CC on GLX's side.
No, next to none. Most of it is all coming out of the bot lane.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Thresh and the Gnar ult. So the 𝘀𝗏𝗏 is not being obeyed.
Purple gun. That is
okay.
About what they're working with. Look, we have to grasp for straws on the side of GLX's composition and CC, but so with these sort of compositions, it always comes down to the 𝘁𝑠𝑠, and 𝘁 has not impressed that much on his 𝘁𝑠𝑠. So if you see like Levi or something on the 𝘁𝑠𝑠, they will be impressively and making plays everywhere. They will be farming up the jungle so much faster than the other jungler, whilst making ganks, whilst making things happen. And look at this, 𝘁𝑠𝑠 is well into her second camp, and 𝘁𝑠𝑠 has only just finished the blue buff, not getting a leash at all. So she is going to be set quite far behind in that regard, playing it very safe and slow, but with your composition, you need that Nidalee to be popping off and getting things going.
So, Marby, it's no 𝘁cie𝗱𝗆𝘆. I know you hate it.
Yeah, look, I mean, there are a couple of times where it's okay. 𝗁 doesn't really have very much CC if you play around the 𝗁 bar properly. It's not like Nidalee's going to be providing anything either, so this is one of the best opportunities, but or you could just get slapped around like that and completely invalidate everything I just said. So now Harsmed is look, but my main problem with the lack of flash with Camille is you actually reduce your playmaking. Sure, you have a bit more kill threat, but you can't make the flash hook shot engages, the flash Hextech ultimatums. You can't make as many plays happen. You can't really keep the tempo up. You just have to hope the enemy misplays, and so you can get that extra damage out and get the kill happening. Because a lot of the time it's just not worth taking, because you have to wait for the enemy to make the mistake.
Ooh, hang on.
Get it.
Speaking of mistakes, Sorn might have made one as he's scrapping with BJ, and the sensor whips on in, and Nidalee is sent to the vet.
Yeah,
on the top side. Oh, it continues as Harsmed going on to 𝘁𝗀𝘁 has used that ignite, gets 𝘁𝗀𝘁𝗁's flash, does a little bit more damage, and then backs off. SGB winning out big in this exchange.
Yeah, but you would have gotten that ignite even without you would have gotten the flashing without the ignite. So big mistake from Sorn in terms of trying to contest the Lilia and just not being. Oh, never mind, bot lane's happening.
Oh, bot lane absolutely is happening. Shine needs to find a way out. Flash will do it. Teleports are coming in. It's going to be SGB in trouble first as Blazers arrives, blows up Ariety. It's now a 4v2. 𝘁𝗏𝗺 trying to go forward, misses the Q. He might not deal enough damage now. No, he doesn't. He's in the middle of the enemy team. Huge misplay out of 𝘁𝗏𝗺 as the Yone is sent back to the Spirit Realm.
So that was less a bad play out of 𝘁𝗏𝗺 and more a great use of the... Well,
he missed his Q.
Yes.
He kills Shine if he hits the Q.
Yes, he misses the Q. Alright, we just see Sorn... gets caught on the 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝘀. Lilia is just so much stronger at this point in the game and all points in the game. And here we just see, I think Shine just steps a bit too far away from 𝘂𝑝𝗆 or a hook lands. That's probably going to be what happens.
We didn't actually...
There we go.
Oh,
okay, 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁.
That's good.
𝘁𝗁𝗁, yeah, Shine makes himself get a little bit too far away from 𝘂𝑝𝗆, but great instant exhaust, good use of the hook to keep him safe. And the important thing is Blazers is here first. Good flay from...
See that Q he missed. He just pointed it the wrong way.
Yeah, he does miss the Q, but...
he gets that kill if he doesn't.
His first target was actually going to be
hang on.
Blazers.
We've got a fight here. Sorry to cut you off. As Blazers, they do get revenge. 𝘁𝗏𝗺 redeems himself, and they pick up a kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, so for BJ making things happen, making up for the mistakes of his mid laner, and getting them further into the game. BJ off to a fantastic start, and where the heck did he get those other kills?
He got one in the river. Oh, okay, so we actually just completely missed a kill. Okay, yeah, that didn't... Yeah, where did he get those kills?
Yeah, BJ just comes down, picks up one, picks up a second. That's just a double kill for BJ. He is...
This game
sucks. So here's the thing. Lilia is absolutely great. Never mind, there's a fight going on.
That's fine, this isn't going to go anyway. Keep talking.
Okay. There was a bit of concussion going on. It looked like it might extend. But BJ it doesn't matter as much if your 1 AP threat is already 3 and 1 at 6 minutes.
That does somewhat nullify the
issue. If you had flash, you could have set up that play properly. Anyway. But BJ is just already on a 5-stack Dark Seal. And it never stops. Blazer's making his way down.
It's alright.
Good flash from 𝘁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁.
Solid flash away. The traps were out as well. The chompers. Making sure that the SGB bot lane do stay safe. They just... it's interesting. We've got that 3-0 Lilia, but it's only an 800 gold lead for SGB currently.
Stop playing.
Yeah, I say it's only 800 gold. We are only 7 minutes in.
and we are actually only 2 kills up, so that's only about 600, 700 gold with the first blood coming in. So the gold differences being made up in the bot lane, in the top lane, are being offset by the mid lane to some extent, but that's So it's actually not a terrible start coming out for the side of SGB, nor GLX really. They scale quite well themselves. And
I think the SGB scale.
I mean, they have to.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean, right? It's not that they outscale, it's that as time goes on and things get parity, they're not going to fall off. So despite the fact that they would have really liked the Nidalee to get ahead and so that Nidalee feels more useful and can help dictate the pace of the game, they can always have, you know, the possibilities of 5-man Nara ultimate. They have the 𝗱𝗏𝘆 to fall back on. They have they have the potential of just the random shock blast that chunks someone out.
Oh, hang on,
For
we've got a
nowhere.
gank up in the top lane. 𝘀𝗀's in a fair bit of trouble. The Hex Deck ultimatum, the 𝘀𝗶𝘆 has been used. In goes the Yone ult, and this is going nowhere. Does he trade one kill back? He does! Oh, 𝘀𝗀𝘆! It's not good enough.
On the whole team of SGB, rather than 𝘀𝗏𝘆, it was a good play, but 𝘁𝗀𝗆 didn't want to take the kill. He wanted to let 𝘀𝗀𝘆 have it, so he just sits there, waits, and that gives enough time for the towers to go off, enough time for 𝘀𝗀 to get damage down. And so, yeah, you want to spread the gold account around, but you also want to try and not give anything back. That is the main thing. But as it is, they're going to get another tower plate. They're going to get priority onto this Rift Herald that's being started up. But 𝘁𝗀𝗆 has no mana. Someone's coming in. Oh, but we're going to have to wait for that. Yeah, here we just see, look, from here, 𝘁𝗀𝗆, you could just Q again, take the kill, but they just want it to go to 𝘀𝗏𝗆. So it ends up going 1-1.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there out of all of SGB. You are right. But it was 𝘀𝗏𝗆 that paid for the sins of his team. Down on the bot side here that we are watching, it is a bit of a lead for GLX, about 10 CS, as this 𝘱𝗆𝘆 Thresh puts out a fair bit of pressure. It makes sense. The double ranged, well, Thresh is pseudo-ranged, but definitely still hits from a little bit further away than Braum. They're going to have another go onto 𝘀𝗀. They get his flash instantly. He scoots on away.
That could have been more with a flash, just saying.
Okay, but at some
Hookshot
point
flash
he has to use the flash at some point. It would have been uncalled. But anyway, on the other side, GLX trade it for a dragon. And can I point out something? 𝘀𝗏𝗆, he's up in CS. Yeah. Oh, has Marby lagged
Yeah,
out?
says my internet. Yeah, my internet was killing itself.
You're back
Ooh,
now.
We're back to it. Yeah. Yep, we're back. Yes, 𝘀𝗏𝗆 has been up in CS, and that's in part due to Blazers really just trying to make his way around the map. Oh, but bot lane's going to have something going on.
Yep, there is a lilting lullaby. They're trying to get it in. There goes the straightforward onto Shine. BJ picking up the kill. 𝘂𝗆𝗆's in so much trouble. There it is. Another kill for the dear Bambi here to avenge her mother. Doing well so far. They're going to push into the tower as well. Pick up a few plates, and SGB are running away with this one.
They learned their lesson and just wanted to secure the kills no matter what. 𝘁𝗏𝗆 is on Jinx, so 𝘁𝗏𝗆 is going to melt this turret pretty quickly. They choose not to drop the Herald, though, which is very interesting. 𝘀𝗏𝗆 is on his way to stop 𝘀𝗀 from getting too much more in the top side, but very good map movements. 𝘁𝗆𝗆 definitely dictating the pace of this game, and 𝘀𝗏𝗆 is just looking for a bit of harass. Not going to get much done. But I think they absolutely could have snowballed 𝘁𝗏𝗆 onto the Mythic with that Herald drop, but they choose to extend the laning phase and I mean, it's working out for them. They've built up a 1,000 goalie. That is a very, very fed Lilia, so maybe keeping the laning phase going is a good thing. And 𝘀𝗏𝗆, you need to stop missing, mate. You need to stop missing these Qs.
Yeah, it's true. Yone Q, famously difficult to hit, of course. As he does have to back away from 𝘀𝗀 there. Didn't want to play around with too much Gnar in the bar. Shine will back off. Lantern, very convenient, as always. And they just continue to farm it up. These ADCs, very happy to scale it on out. BJ, ecstatic to go pick up some mid lane CS. Of course, this is 11.4. Funnel's back, baby.
Funnel is never going away.
It's never going.
Never.
But it's not happening here.
No, it's not happening, but definitely not going to be upset to grab that mid lane experience. As looking for something else to do now, not going into the topside jungle where there's nothing spawned. So 𝘁𝗀𝗃 going to be just sort of hanging out, looking to maybe make something happen to 𝘁𝗀𝗀 as he reappears in lane. 𝘀𝗧𝗏 also making their way, hovering to the top side. I think they're going to look for a dive onto 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀, drop the Rift Herald, and accelerate. Yeah, accelerate the 𝘁𝗀𝗀 as best they can.
Yeah. That's absolutely what I expect. 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗀 coming on in. They've already pressed the Eye of the Herald. They are diving on forward. Yone has that easy escape. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And definitely not a 𝘁𝗀𝗀𝗃 here. This is a misguided teleport. I didn't even realize. I thought 𝘁𝗀𝗍𝗍 was on SGB. That's how dumb the teleport was. As he comes in, dies for nothing, they pick up more plates and they will get the tower. On the bottom side, 𝘁𝗲𝗺 fires out the Super Mega Death Rocket. It lives up to its name. He gets the double. That's a Fed Jinx now. And 𝘁 has traded it for a red buff.
Someone has traded for a red buff. They will push. GLX would have been pushing up very aggressively, thinking we have full vision in the bot side jungle. We have 𝘁𝗏𝗏 down here. We can keep aggressing. Then I guess 𝘁𝗀𝗃 makes the play. But yeah, 𝘁𝗏𝗍𝗍 absolutely making a massive mistake there. That's so much gold going over to GLX, but oh no. Okay, varieties tell recall does get cancelled, but that's the
unfortunate.
That's the.
Oh, Marvy.
Oh, it's gonna be another. Oh, yep. Oh,
you're back.
It's one of those days.
Yeah, it is, but it's alright, you're back. It's just short, but here's this replay. This was just kind of bad play out of GLX and a very good catch from SGB. Well done there, particularly by 𝘁𝗀𝗃 on that Braum.
Yeah, absolutely, just wrecking the 𝘱𝗏𝗺 session, the 2v2. And now we're looking at a completed Kraken Slayer for the Jinx. Mythics all across the board compared to not a single one for the side of Luxury. So SGB, they're in full control. They get to decide everything right now. They've rotated into the mid lane for their bot lane. They've rotated their bot into mid. So really looking to just try and get that gold, that solo lane advantage being their main point of pressure. Keeping 𝘀𝗏𝗆 close because Dragon is going to be the next objective.
Yep, 7 seconds on that one. GLX actually did get that first Infernal Drake, and no real attention is paid to this neutral objective. Well, the Dragon, at least. So it's not like any very fast soul is stacking up, but we are at that point in the game where SGB is very, very far ahead, but there's not a huge amount to do. But they are going to gank to the bot lane. 𝘀𝗏𝗆 does get his ult flashed away from. 𝘁𝗍𝗍 should actually escape now, with 𝘁𝗏𝗏 taking about 5 tower shots. But they will zone him off. They will get the tower in exchange. Ooh, 𝘁𝗏𝗏, careful. Wait for the minion wave.
They'll get the tower eventually. Yep, they're going to give the solid gold over to 𝘀𝗏𝗆 as they want 𝘁𝗏𝗏 back on the map towards that top side faster, because the next play would most likely be towards that Rift Herald.
𝘀𝗏𝗆 and 𝘁𝗏𝗏 is having a scrap. 𝘀𝗏𝗆's got it. He's got his shield bow. He wins this. He wins it hard as he solo kills 𝘁𝗏𝗍𝗍. 𝘁𝗏𝗍's just underestimating the fact that it's a shield bow Yone. Can't fight that.
𝘀𝗏𝗆 well ahead in the terms of itemization, well ahead in terms of position on the map, and just that's going to be another turret likely going down in the bot side. Okay, maybe not right away as the rotation is going to come through, but here 𝘁𝗏𝗍 actually tries to get the jump on him, but there's not enough burst damage. 𝘀𝗏𝗆 has the sustain, 𝘀𝗏𝗆 has the return, just takes him down nice and easily. And there we are, just straight away SGB onto this Rift Herald. That's going to be their next objective. They can hold that until the next dragon if they want. I think the time is long enough, but if not, they can use that to crack open the mid lane. Probably, I don't think so.
So, we exist in a world where 𝘀𝗏𝗆 has 150 CS at 16 minutes.
He's learned to CS, man.
I mean,
really
helps. It helps when your jungler is smurfing as hard as BJ is right now, but definitely props where props are due to 𝘀𝗏𝗆 playing a strong lane pick and actually performing in terms of the CS department. Has 3 kills as well, and one of those deaths really not on him. The one in the top side, as 𝘁 has been caught out. The ultimate is used. 𝘀𝗏𝗆 stopping him getting over the wall, and he cuts the cat in two.
𝘀𝗏𝗆, I mean, he's missed a couple of Qs, but it looks like he knows this champion and their interactions extremely well. great use of the ultimate to block 𝘁's escape. He's getting solo kills. He's now a very potent threat in the side lane.
Yeah, 𝘁𝗏𝗆 can 1v1 everyone very easily. They have to send at least 2, and honestly, depending on who the 2 is, you might have to send 3. I'm sorry, someone is just doing doughies outside my house, but 𝗏𝗏𝗆s has been caught out. The Lilting Lullaby used. They're just trying to get the last bit of damage. They manage it. Jinx picks up that one. 𝘂𝗶𝗆 goes down to 𝘁𝗲𝗄 on the other side. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 wants to go forward. He has nearly a full Gnar buff, but 𝘁𝗏𝗆 arrives. Does he have that ultimate? He does not.
Excited.
Alright, he was excited, but can't carry it. SGB pick up the tower, though.
Yeah, we're just seeing the team fighting composition of GLX coming to fruition there. And all the attempts to get back into it from GLX blocked off by the Braum. Just so much damage coming through from 𝘁𝗏𝗃 and 𝘁𝗏𝗆 being able to dive onto these pokers. And 𝗃𝗃 is just so far ahead. She is doing so much damage to this Lilia. And yeah, look, Shine did his best. He stayed reasonably safe the entire time, but with the Rift Herald bearing down, they couldn't do anything. That's just the main downside for SGB is the timing of that fight. All they get out of it is gold. They can't use it to get Dragon. They don't even manage to use it to get CS. But here we just see great pick onto
Lovely
Blazers through 𝘁𝗏𝗆. Then with the Rift Herald charging in, they know they can just keep this dive going. Great shield from 𝘁𝗏𝗆 again to block the ultimate from Shine, because a big Infernum ultimate could have swung it around.
Man, 𝘁𝗏𝗆 has been so good. This is one of the things I really love about this SGB roster is 𝘁𝗏𝗃, like we all thought, I mean, we thought they'd do very, very badly. We said if they do well, it'll be because 𝘁𝗁𝗃 smurfs. 𝘁𝗁𝗃, he's been fine this game, don't get me wrong, he's alright, but he's not carrying. This is all, like, this resurgence of SGB is so much on the back of these rookies, particularly 𝘁𝗏𝗆 and 𝗃𝗃. Yeah, 𝘁𝗏𝗆's massively improved, speaking of which, he just killed Blazers. Good flash Blazers, by the way. Really, really good flash. 𝘁𝗏𝗆 has definitely improved. He's styling on the Yone. He's had some great games to split. But I love to see how good these rookies are. I love it.
Yeah. The amount that 𝗃𝗃 and 𝘁𝗁𝗃, as we talk about him.
Well, it's okay. He'll live. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is doing his absolute best, but the collapse comes in. 𝘁𝗁𝗃 gets the kill, and SGB continues to put their foot on the gas. I don't even want to stop talking for these fights, because this game is very, very over. It's a 7k gold lead in 20 minutes.
In my defense, I didn't actually look at the minimap when I just saw, oop, Gnar, something's happening.
Very valid, but I'm so happy to see these rookies coming in and really show that they can hang with the best in the VCS.
Absolutely. 𝘁𝗁𝗆 already making a name as looking like one of the best supports in the VCS. I think easily top 3, maybe top 2 is probably where I'd be looking to put him. 𝗃𝗃 as well, very much one of the top 3 junglers.
Ooh, Baron goes down. We might have to talk about this fight as it could be a game-ending one. Blaze is extremely low. 𝘂𝗶𝗆 having a nap on the other side. They actually can't find him. So 𝘁 has gone... 𝘂𝗶𝗆? Okay.
Okay.
DC'd?
No.
Interesting.
𝘂𝗶𝗆, he knew he had no way out. The way he didn't have his flash, the way the walls are set up, he was going to walk into some member of SGB. So he just sort of chose to die.
I guess. So I think you still try and buy some time. It doesn't really matter though. It's not important. The inhib is taken down immediately. The Baron buff is secured on all 5 members of SGB. It's now a 10,000 gold lead, and this might be one of the biggest stomps we've seen this split.
Yeah, this is definitely up there. It's getting it's taking a little bit of time to actually close out in terms of how far ahead they are, but we're at a 10,000 gold lead. It should be very hard for GLX to come back because they don't have the tools to make plays. Their composition is mostly about getting somewhere first, poking from the fog of war, and your only real playmaker is a big ult from 𝘁𝗀𝗆, and that is a very easy thing to play around. And if this is just going to happen in the side lane, you don't even have that option.
Yeah, I mean, Blazers is 1-6. 𝘁𝗀𝗃 has been caught on their own, so he might die. Oh, no, he hops away. The rest of the team arrives. Lilting Lullaby. The 𝗀𝗃𝗃𝗀𝗀 is just a bit of a party ult, but it doesn't matter as it was all part of the plan. As 𝗀𝗵𝗆 hits a hook onto 𝘁𝗍𝗃, but they don't follow up onto it. 𝘁𝗃𝗃 is still here, the absolute madman. And oh my.
Just so tanky.
I wish I'd predicted 2-0, because this one is hard to come back from mentally for GLX. They are walking forward into this tower, and oh boy, SGB, what a team!
This team looks so fantastic. Now it is sort of top of the table versus bottom of the table, but and BJ did get off to a fantastic start. So if you are GLX, you can maybe write this one off as, look, we scuffed it up in the early game. The Lilia got obscenely fed. We can just reset our mental through that capacity and just try again with a bit of a different draft. But it has been dominance from the word go from SGB, and BJ in particular just hard smurfing. Froggy getting a little bit ahead of himself there.
Not a KDA player, just decides to go in, have some fun. It's a 1-for-1 trade. They're working on these Nexus towers. They are actually fairly... Oh my god. Blazers They just threw a bucket of water on Blazers. The 𝗀𝗏𝗀𝗀 does a lot of pick up too. The 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗆s magic is real. Shine turns it around, and the game is back in action. No, it's not. The Nexus is exposed, but they do hold for now.
It wouldn't be right if we didn't get a bit of 200 years coming in. Yeah, I mean, huge turnaround, I guess, from Shine, and that could be the swing they need, but it's in the momentum at least. But there's still 8,000 gold in the hole. They're 23 kills to 8. This game is all but donezo, and SGB just kind of got a free back. There's an Ocean Drake spawning.
Ocean Drake.
That's either going to be a free pick. That's going to be a free pickup for SGB, or just an elaborate ruse to get GLX to move out of their base. But GLX are doing that for them, just slowly sneaking forward, trying to get as much gold as they can while they have this near ace on the table. But the double super minions are just swarming in. Froggy, he's a man on a hunt.
Yeah,
he's looking for Blazers.
I mean, this is the power of Yone. He can just leave his spirit behind, go for a hunt. He's so fed that he can one-shot people in half a second. Shine, trying to hold for now. Did get his KDA saved by a bit of a silly play from SGB, but with 3 lanes of super minions strolling on in, the 6th player on the SGB's team is those 6 super minions. They're moving towards the Nexus. Can they find those shots? Froggy with the double ultimate. They're doing it. Look at all of this CC. They are melting them away. Alrighty, on the other side, actually careful. They have lost one to the 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗆𝗃, but it doesn't matter. They're just going to hit the Nexus. They're just going to hit the Nexus. Oh no, they get a hold. Alrighty has to run. The Super Mega Death Rocket is used. He gets excited. He's charging on, but he's doing so much damage. They hit the Nexus. And the final fight was more exciting than it had any right to be. But SGB do get over the line and take game 1 in an absolutely dominating fashion.
It's getting flashbacks to last year from that 𝗀𝗏𝗃𝗆s, but just dominance out of the side of SGB. Those last team fights though should be good for the mental state of the side of GLX. Maybe they bring in 𝘀𝗀𝗃 to help them come back into the series, but if another early game goes the same, the early game may just end up going the same way. And I think you have to look at draft, maybe look at bringing 𝘀𝗀𝗃 in, but those last 2 team fights should have reset your mental.
We'll have a look. We will be back in just a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. We will bring you the rest of this series and the rest of the action here on VCS England. Welcome back, everybody. My camera is having a bad day, as I'm sure you can tell. But we did have an exciting game between 𝘁𝗱𝗆𝘆𝘀 and 𝘁media Luxury. It was not close. Maybe that last team fight around the Nexus was about as close as GLX ever got. Welcome back to the VCS English Analyst Desk. We do have 𝘁𝗏𝘆𝘀. What was your take on the first game?
I think B&J ran house on the entire game. I think that their solo lanes did really well, which is to be expected. And I think both bot lanes, while usually they're not really the stars of their team, it turned out that Saigons just ended up kind of coin flipping better over the course of the game, and then they just won everything from that point on. Talk about like them winning everything, even if Froggy wasn't just kicking everybody in the side lanes to the curb every time somebody stepped to him, that game would have still been won, but that helped things quite a bit as well.
That's true.
Absolutely.
𝘁𝗶𝗶, what was your take? What can GLX do to fight back in game 2?
So I think the main thing GLX needs to do is not lose the early game quite as bad, because we saw at the end that their late game team fighting was pretty good. Shine was getting big ultimates off, big, and getting good damage down, but they just were so far in the hole it didn't matter. So they definitely need to get a better early game jungler for 𝘁 or 𝘁𝗀𝗆 if they choose to sub them in, which I would not be surprised if they did. Yep. They need a top lane that doesn't lose quite as hard or is not as susceptible to ganks, and they need a mid lane that doesn't die in the side lanes 1v1 constantly. So the bot lane's fine. You can go if you can get a 𝘁𝗆𝘆 Thresh again, do that. But the rest of the map needs to be changed. Update yourself to 11.4. That's just what you need to do. 𝘁𝗏𝘁 is garbage. Don't pick her. Pick 𝘁𝗏𝘁. 𝘁𝗏𝘁 was banned by you, by the way. You could have left 𝘁𝗏𝘁 open. And gone for the 𝘁𝗏𝘁 Lilia trade, but
maybe. I mean, I think 𝘁, like, I understand that she's not prevalent on the patch, but 𝘁 is a very, very good Sejuani. He's picking this 𝘁𝗏𝘁 over and over and over again, and he's terrible. I don't think 𝘁𝗏𝘁's bad. I know you think that, 𝘁𝗶𝗆, but I think other regions show that the champion is fine. The issue is 𝘁.
No, 𝘁𝗏𝘁's
and they need to no. Okay.
You need to be a god to play 𝘁𝗏𝘁 on this patch.
Okay, so it's the player issue.
Not that.
Okay, so it's the player issue. I'm just saying, like, 𝘁. Let's look. We can agree that 𝘁 should not be picking 𝘁𝗏𝘁.
Yes, we can agree on that.
And that pigeonholes them in the draft if they want to be playing AD mids, which it seems like Blazers wants to do. Rebel, how do they get out of this one?
I don't know what happened to like Olaf. Like, what happened to Olaf? Soren was just like clapping.
It was banned. At the beginning.
I know it's banned, and I know Udyr usually gets banned too. But like, he's got an arsenal of weapons he's played before. Where's Hecarim at? Like, in terms of like where that champion is? I know even Elise has stepped in as like a potential championship that would probably just be a better version of 𝘁𝗏𝘁 to actually bring out in the early game that Soren could easily clap with. And you debate it if you want; it doesn't really matter. There's plenty of other options beyond 𝘁𝗏𝘁 that Soren could go to that fit his play style better than what a 𝘁𝗏𝘁 would too. So I don't know what it is that they're doing. I actually, again, I pointed out before the stream, I think 𝘁𝗏𝗆 combines with 𝘁𝗨𝗁 a lot better. Both solo lanes seem to play better when he's in. And if they're building this team to be a long-term team, which I am expecting them to do because I don't think they're going to be in the bottom of the league whatsoever, they're not going to get relegated most likely. It's probably just better to have 𝘁𝗁𝗁 in at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I mean, I think you bring 𝘁 in to dictate the game, and he's being outperformed by B&J. So why not bring in 𝘁𝗁𝗁 for some X factor, which I think he brings in spades. Like,
and
I
𝘁𝗁𝗁
fully
dictates
think
the game very well.
Yeah, I
especially
fully
if you
think
go to
𝘁𝗁𝗁 should be starting. I don't necessarily think 𝘁𝗁𝗁 is the silver bullet to save them here. I still think it's going to be very hard. Like, if 𝘁𝗁𝗆𝗆𝗆 is playing on the level that they're playing on, GLX has just to hope and pray, because I think they're just outclassed in pretty much every position. But we are headed into champion select, I assume. There it is. GLX now over on the blue side, much less confusing with the colours at the top now, as SGB go to the red. And we're going to have to see if GLX can find a way out of this pit.
You have the first pick this time. You're not going to be forced onto those red side bans like the 𝘁 or the Udyr. I don't think necessarily Udyr is one of those champs that you necessarily need to be perma-banning. I mean, if the Lydia is banned, yeah, you probably should be banning it as well. But it seems to be that SGB is still looking to target that. Okay, that's a bad sign.
That's a very bad sign.
You're banning
Oh,
Udyr.
you gotta be... Okay. Genius.
Okay, 𝘁𝗁𝘀𝘆𝗀 because there would not be a great stand
That's
against
genius,
someone.
man.
Yeah, I think 𝘁𝗁𝘀𝗀 must be in.
That's so smart.
Okay, GLX.
I mean, I think that's pretty standard bans for GLX. You have to ban 𝘁𝗀𝘀 against 𝘁𝗀𝗀, and also she's just cracked on the patch. Rel
The issue is you're on blue side.
Yeah, but they can get there's first picks for them. I can't think of any.
The next best first pick would be like
Oh, okay.
𝘁cie𝗱𝗆 or Senna, really on the patch.
Not
Maybe. First picking Thresh is a bit of a meme. Granted, it's slightly better than first picking up Aphelios, but SGB
That's,
just gonna pick up
not a high
𝘁cie𝗱𝗆
bar.
because we all have to get our government mandated 20 games of 𝘁cie𝗱 in every week.
If you don't see enough 𝘁cie games, you get shot. Thankfully, the VCS,
Don't feel like it.
we've never been at risk of that, and they look like they do want the 𝘁𝗀𝗃 as well. Bit of a flex,
Yeah.
obviously, that can go to a lot of places. We saw last week they played the 𝘁cie 𝘁𝗃𝗃 bot lane, and it was amazing. They had so many set plays, so many like just things that they had clearly rehearsed. It was incredible, and they against an Aphelios, he's pretty vulnerable to the big barrel.
He absolutely is. And now if I'm GLX, I need to be very much aware of what my jungler is. That's where I would be going because there are so many jungle picks / bans.
Gotta pick Olaf, right?
Jungle bans taken away. I swear to God, Kimkin, I will personally fly to Vietnam and kick your ass.
This is unreal.
Incredible. Can we get a hard counter? Like a hard counter or something to this Gnar?
Asmed, how's your Yasuo?
Yasuo, Vayne, I don't even know. There it is. There it is. Asmed! Let's
Whoa,
go, dude.
Rebel! That was clean as hell. That's Vayne top. Hell yeah!
Okay. That is Vayne solo lane at the very least.
That's gotta be
always,
top.
It's
Gotta be
almost,
top.
it's like 99% top, but there is the mid flex potential. We have to just have to hold that and in reserve just in case. But there goes, oh my god! Finally, someone just punishing this Gragas. This Gnar pick blind really hard, and now SGB just gets a really good jungler in this next pick. That their only job is to sit in the sort of top side river and make sure Harsman doesn't get ganked. You're done. And why are you banning Olaf? You have that. You have the
No, they
best
pick. No, they're gonna pick Hecarim. It's BJ. They pick Hecarim here.
Do you want to pick Hecarim though up against the with
What if they
the
ban it?
𝘁𝗀𝗃𝐶s? That's my only question.
What do you mean? You're not against 𝘁𝗀𝗃𝐶.
No, when
with the
you have
double.
𝘁𝗀𝗃𝐶s.
I'd ban it personally.
Yeah, so they
Yeah,
GLX
it is
bans
banned.
it. Yeah, I think they pick Hecarim 100% there. Maybe they go to the Kayn. BJ does play a lot of that.
That'd be fun.
The jungle pool is definitely pinched. But BJ
It's
is
almost
very flexible.
certainly going to be Kayn at this point because of how many bans been thrown that way. Could see something like a Skarner. You can still flex the Gragas into jungle. That is also an option. So I would be looking to lock in maybe a mid laner here as if you're SGB.
They are really going for a cyberbully composition right now. They do not like anything that GLX is bringing out, do they?
Are we watching G2?
We're
Like, what
Like
is
mid-
this?
What's
incredible.
Crackmid's win rate on 1.4? It's still like
What-
disgustingly high.
Oh, yeah, it's the
Billion.
highest win rate mid laner in the It's like
Yeah.
54% win. It's ridiculous.
That's a bad
God.
plan. That's a bad plan. This champion got nerfed too. It's not in Italy.
It's better than Italy.
It's better than Italy.
Better than Italy.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
baby.
this could still be
That's
Pyke's
not gonna
support, by the way. Like,
Yeah,
Gragas could still be going to the jungle.
Very
on top.
easily.
I think it will be Pyke mid. I think 𝘁𝗀𝗆𝗆 will play Gragas, but are they?
Oh, it's not Garen, man. Man,
Sad.
I was kind of hoping we just went off the deep end and just went for the Garen mid, but that is a technically blind Irelia mid.
If it's any other, it's probably just Galio. Like, this composition's so good with Galio, right? Like, if you dive in with Pyke or you dive in with 𝘁𝗀𝗆, like, you just go crazy. Plus, 𝘁𝑺gy's good with it. It denies the Irelia pick in the mid lane. Like, it's not a fun champion to add into the cyberbully composition, but at minimum, it's a ground for the rest of everything else to allow them to do what they want.
Yeah.
Where do things end up though? Because the Pyke and Galio are still very flexible.
Please give me the froggy mid lane fate, please.
He played 𝘁𝗀𝗆.
Give
Why
me.
not bring out the Pyke?
Can I have the? Can I have the froggy mid lane Pyke played?
That would be fun too. I don't think it is. I think this is standard stuff.
Yes, the standard vein top.
Standard vein top. Into Gnarr bullies. Into Gnarr bullies hard.
Okay, look, into Gnarr, it's a bit more of an understandable pick, but I don't think vein top and Pyke support can really be considered standard. It's certainly not meta.
No, this is definitely not standard. The cyberbully comp, even with somewhat of a boring ending in the Galio, amazing. I love it. But Rebel, I have to ask you, what's your opinion? Does it actually get over the line, or does 𝘁𝗎media's more standard comp win out?
I yet again look at this composition from the side of GLX, and I'm looking at a jungler who would do really well with lanes with a lot of CC, and I'm not seeing that much easily accessed CC, where it's like mid lane, you can gank a Galio against as an Irelia, but like it's not going to be easy or simple or any possibility. Same with Gnarr on the top side, where it's like, oh, if you ult Vayne into a wall, but like you're never ulting Vayne into a wall. I feel like Taliyah's going to run into the same problem Nidalee did in the last game, and while it's a better champion, and I think 𝘁𝗆𝗆, my apologies, is the better of the two options, this is another dub for 𝘁𝗀𝗆𝘆𝘀.
Yeah, I'm definitely regretting my 2-1 prediction, but hey, we live and we learn. 𝘁𝗆𝗆 up there on that vein. He was an ADC player at the start of his career. OG Rizo was an ADC player, so no doubt he's got some hard yards in on the vein. We've talked a lot about 𝘁𝗀𝗆𝗆𝘆𝘀's comp, though, and how could we not? Let's talk a little bit about 𝘁𝗎media, as Blazers secures a comfort pick in the Irelia, but Killer Queens goes to Taliyah on 11.4.
Alright, so the jungle pool was very, very heavily attacked, and so I think Killer Queen really is just reaching into his back pocket to see what he has left available, and he decided to pull out the Taliyah, give them that AP damage while Blazers wants the Irelia, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. He may not be the most comfortable on something like the Elise or something like a Skarner, so just wants to go for the AP threat. It's definitely not a bad pick. You would like more point and click CC. The best you're really working with is a flawless duet or a thresh hook to set yourself up. So that's a bit rough, and you are also working with not much in terms of lane pressure. Both side lanes should be going very much in the favor of SGB. Mid lane, you might get a bit of a good early push. At the moment, Blazers is beating out 𝘁𝗆𝗆𝗆 in that regard. So
Unsurprising. Irelia early.
Not surprising with the matchup, no, but that's just going to be how it is. 𝘁𝗆𝗆 and Ariety definitely going to be just looking for this level 2 all in.
They actually move forward. There's the hook. It goes on in. Alright, he has been exhausted, but he's trying to get the last bit of damage. He should be able to do it, but there's a shield going up. Teleports are coming in. There's first blood secured, but Blazers arrives first, but they instantly get the hell out of there. 𝘁𝗆𝗆𝗆's reinforcements was enough, and it's a first blood for the 𝘁𝗁𝘁.
all summoner spells blown in that bot lane. First blood for the 𝘁cie going to get them very well ahead. 𝘁𝗀𝗆's coming up for the game, but 𝗃_𝗀 is here in response.
Ooh, 𝘁𝗀𝗆 has to get out of there, but look at that play! He rolls away from the knockback as well. He's trying to get away from 𝘁𝗀𝗆. He can't quite do it, but 𝗃_𝗀 is going to follow up. There's a teleport up, though. 𝗃_𝗀 needs to be careful. He gets the bop, and he walks away. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is unable to answer, and everything's coming up SGB.
They're so practiced. The 𝗃𝗀𝗀 beautiful condemn into the belly bop instantly. We're gonna see Blazers forcing out Froggy's flash.
But look at this! The party don't stop in VCS town! The party don't stop in the VCS! It's a dive top lane, it's a kill for Vayne, and we've got 4 kills for 𝘁𝗀𝗆𝘆𝘀, 20 seconds before 4 minutes.
𝘁𝗀𝗆 was tried that early teleport up to try and catch 𝗃_𝗀 / save his jungler, but that just meant 𝗃_𝗀 never left the area, so they just teleport Hearthmid in and dive him. He received his bot lane play, and 𝘁𝗁e really tries to predict the flash from Shine, but ends up flashing and catching out 𝗲𝗼𝗺. Doesn't really matter that he doesn't land it, because the lack of protection means Orion.
No, it was better. It was better that he hit that, because it stopped the lantern. The lantern was so late. That's what he wanted the stun on the Thresh, 100%. That was a deliberate, because he skilled E at level 1, so they were 100% going for that level 2 all in. That was calculated, but he started the play as the minion died. That was sick out of 𝘁𝗁𝗆. That was perfect.
Yeah, they absolutely planned that level 2 all in. I think that he was trying to predict the flash, but
no, because why would he flash to the side?
Definitely trying.
The Aphelios would just flash to tower. He was definitely. I guarantee it. He was catching that 𝗲𝗼𝗺. I would put money on it. We don't know for sure. We can't read it out.
We're seeing 𝘁𝗀𝗆 making more moves.
Yeah,
𝗃_𝗀 rather making more moves.
𝘁𝗀𝗆 is the first one there, but it doesn't matter. Oh my god, that did a lot of damage. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is just dead. Turns out it doesn't matter which jungler you play, Sorn or 𝘁𝗁𝗆.
𝗃_𝗀 about gonna get his 𝘁𝗀𝗆 deciding not to interrupt the back. As every day just falls off his desk or something.
My light fell over and it knocked my camera. You just keep talking while I fix it.
Anyway, but that is just a huge lead on the top side. It's a really strong early game once again from the side of SGB. This time around, it's definitely a case that SGB needed that strong early game. Their composition is not that really strong late game team fighting, though they do have the tools. When it comes to that, it is much harder to execute. But 𝘁𝗁𝗆's going into the mid lane. Good taunt. Good.
Blazers low. A lot of damage being dealt. And BJ gets the kill. Rolls the barrel in and picks up his 3rd. 𝘁media.
Yeah.
They might not be sitting down too easy the rest of this week.
Ooh, yeah. No, they are definitely getting completely bullied around. The cyber bully comp is in full effect. 𝗃_𝗀 is here once again to make 𝘁𝗆's life a living hell. He's not 0-3 yet, and we know what this means. Time for 3
𝗃_𝗀, in they come. The Galio landing on top. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is here to reinforce, but this 𝘁𝗨 does absolutely nothing. 𝗃_𝗀 has to get out of there, but it doesn't matter because Froggy will secure the kill. The Frog Champ is in full effect as they wander on out. It is a massive farm gap. Hearthmid had frozen the wave, set the easy dive up, and this is a nearly 4K. It's basically a 4K gold lead at 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's really getting out of hand. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 needs to make something happen on the other side of the map, but they are not able to track 𝗃_𝗀. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is almost always late to what feels like an attempt to counter gank, but that's not going to work out for them. They need to try and make something happen on the other side. Good use of the blast cone from 𝘁𝗁𝗆 completely avoids being spotted by the ward in the river.
Oh my god, it's a 2-level lead for Hearthmid. It's a 2-level lead. He goes under tower here. He kills him. Oh my word. Blazers is dead in the mid lane. Okay, no, he actually gets away. 𝘁𝗁𝗆 didn't have a hook to follow it up. It
is complete domination from SGB. They are definitely putting their foot down, saying we are the second best team in this league. We are the contenders here, and GLX, you are not worth our time. We can just style on you with these picks. 𝘁𝗀𝗆, very nice dodge on the hook. Gonna get away.
They can't. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
BJ is still up here. He's just letting Husband hit the tower.
Yeah, this is exactly what BJ should be doing. This first dragon should be absolutely collapsed on by GLX. They should be going for it straight away. Take this dragon, get something for your team. But no, 𝘁𝗁𝘀, he's going back to farm. He's going to farm Raptors. No, take the dragon. You had the bot lane priority. BJ, he's taking the Rift Herald. Of course, you don't know that, but you know he's on top side.
I think they're just too scared because it's so fast for the rest of SGB to arrive. If you start that Drake, all it takes is a stealthed pike to see you and land any CC. 𝘁cie𝗱𝗆 arrives, Gallia is there as well. Like, it's terrifying. You're so far down. I can understand 𝘁𝗁𝘀 just being like, I just have to try and farm and carry, but I don't think there's much hope of that. You could open your mid lane if this was solo queue. In comes the Taliyah, but 𝘁𝗁𝘆 is here, as is 𝘁𝗁𝘆. He flashes the wall. 𝘁𝗁𝘆 hiding in stealth.
Oh, good hook.
Does get caught by the hook, but the triple stun from the E. 𝘁𝗁𝘆 just as punches away. Blaze is charging forward, but BJ's here now. They need to be careful. And despite the good hook, it doesn't matter. They don't get anything.
BJ kind of leaving his support out to dry and sort of not just chucking an ultimate to completely disengage that. He didn't need to, but it meant that 𝘁𝗁𝘆 had to use his flash. So could have saved the flash for more playmaking, much shorter cooldown on the Gragas barrel. But they're going to use this pressure onto 𝘁𝗁𝘆, use this knowledge of seeing BJ wander back to top lane. Ken.
This is so mean.
This
is brutal. We might be looking at 𝘁𝗀𝗆 5 as he is being hunted down by the big fat BJ, who smacks him with the belly. They took the tower as well. And there a mercy rule?
That's called FF15. I
don't think you're allowed to do that. My word.
And now we're just seeing, look, 𝘁𝗁𝘆, he's very much even in CS. He's down a wave, but he's a Galio. He should be down a wave.
He doesn't care.
And now we're just seeing 𝘁𝗁𝘆 lurking in the bush, still only level 5.
Yeah,
when this man gets 6, the gold lead is going to explode.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already 5k, but it's gonna...
Yeah, it's 5k.
It's 5k in 10 minutes?
It's brutal. This is, disgusting.
How is it only 10 minutes? This is pure agony to watch as someone who, if you're a GLX fan, and as a fan of 𝘁𝗁𝘀, it's pure agony to watch how badly they're getting just bullied around. BJ is in full control. This man is so...
I mean, it's just night and day. It's night and day in the jungle. BJ is so good. It's so good to see someone coming in. This is actually something we discussed on our podcast, because Blaze has a go at 𝘁𝗁𝘆 and just tickles him. Actually takes more damage than he gave. This is... So, yeah, as I said, there's something we've discussed on our podcast. The jungle is a stacked role in VN. There are so many good junglers in the VCS, and BJ's coming in here and is top 3 at least.
Yeah, he was coming in with
BJ with a flash belly bop, doesn't quite land it, but Blazers is in trouble. X marks the spot, but 𝘁𝗁𝘆 can't see red apparently. The execute doesn't go off. Loses a bit of gold, but here comes Taliyah. This is actually a good fight here for GLX. They should be able to turn something around. 𝘁𝗁𝘆 is just going to die to the tower. Oh my god, they are just BMing. As they get 3 kills back, there's a shutdown. But I don't think it matters. It's traded for tower plates, and the lead is just so big.
The lead is still massive. It is overall a net win for GLX off that play, as they get 2 more kills under their belt, but... Holy hell. SGB do not care. They are just going. They are just having fun right now. If we had player cams, I bet you'd see them laughing so hard and just having such a great time, because this would be a great game. The Gold League has been closed a little bit because of that play. There was that shutdown from BJ. That went over to the Taliyah, so that's definitely a target you wanted on. It was either Taliyah or the Ophelia, so no matter who got that, you're happy. And that just means
it's interesting, Marby. I don't know if you've ever been to Africa, but I have.
No.
When you go on safari and stuff to go look for animals. By the way, 𝘁𝗀𝗆's about to die.
𝘁𝗀𝗆 6.
Yep, 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is actually getting away for now, but Froggy arrives.
He's on the wrong side.
I'll come back to my story. Oh, the collapse is coming in. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 behind. They turn onto them for a moment as BJ looking to deal with blazes. There is one kill onto 𝘁𝗀𝗆. There should be the second one onto the Aurelia. There it is. At SGB cleaned them up. The story. There is. I did have a point. Is when you go to Africa, there's a concept called the Big Five, and everyone thinks it's the big five animals you want to see as a tourist because it's leopards, lions, cheetahs, hippos, and buffalo, and everyone thinks that's what you want to see as a tourist. It's not. It's actually an old hunting term for animals that will murder you, and to not mess with those animals because they will murder you. There is a reason buffalo are on that list, and they're actually they're one of the really high up ones, and it's this game. It's this game.
Yeah, buffaloes and fat men, some of the most lethal things in the world. Just as 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is removed from the rift.
This is
brutal. My god, this is absolutely brutal. And Blazers, he's gonna be done in again.
Yep, he's dead. X marks the spot. Nope, they don't bother with it. It wasn't actually up. That makes a lot of sense as 𝘁𝗀𝗆 is just chilling. Oh, what happened here? Oh,
𝘁𝗀𝗆? Why?
𝘁𝗀𝗆, dead queen.
So, 𝘁𝗁𝗆 just playing with fire, being that low on health and not resetting when you absolutely have no control on the map. You do not own your jungle. You are but a poor boy. You do not own land. And then the big fat investor man comes along and says, "Get off my land, get off my property," and just bops you in the face.
Hippity hoppity, your jungle is my property.
Yeah, Froggy, that works.
Yep. This is ridiculous. I mean, honestly, the only player on SGB you can't heap praise on is 𝘁𝗍𝗍, just because he hasn't done anything, and he hasn't had to. It's not like he's playing badly.
That's what he deserves for playing Kai'Sa.
I agree. He's just been chilling. 𝘁𝗀𝗆 has managed to catch up in farm somewhat. He's only 30 farm down now. 𝘁𝗁𝗆's dead again.
Oh no.
𝘁𝗁𝗆 is arriving. The hook is primed. They're going to try and turn something around, but this is seriously just bullying. There's one pike ult. Look at all that gold. Delicious pike money. Yum, yum, yum. And the kill in the mid lane. And guys, you can FF. Get us out of here. This one's done.
It's all fine now. The players on SGB have filled out their red stacking, their Ravenous Hunter. They've picked up. They finally killed 𝘁𝗵𝗆. Yeah, look, that wasn't very interesting. Blazers was already 0-4-0. Alright, he has a full Kraken Slayer, 2 Merc Treads. I don't think that's gonna do much in that fight.
The question,
sorry, buddy.
I've got one interesting thing to actually track. Does 𝘁𝗁𝗆 complete his mythic, which is his second item, before 𝘁𝗁𝗆 completes his?
Considering 𝘁𝗁𝗆 has stopped off at boots and another component, I think yes.
Speaking of
and
𝘁𝗁𝗆,
I believe it's 𝘁𝗁𝗆 7. Oh. We've gone off the deep end. 𝘁𝗁𝗆 7 just doing very well for himself. Moving on to getting this Kindle gem. He's getting closer and closer to that mythic. But it's just not going very well for him at all. He has been routinely bullied. No help has been seen from the mid.
I mean, there's no...
𝘁𝗁𝗆 has tried.
You could actually argue that 𝘁𝗁𝗆 coming top now is almost just a mistake, because he's worth nothing. He hasn't got a kill. He hasn't reset his goal. He is worth like a cannon. At this point, they're just having fun.
Yeah, at this point, they are all in on ruining the KDA for KenKen. And, yeah. I think his KDA is coming back after this. He's going to be scraping the bottom of the stat board for the rest of the
in some
split.
trouble, trying to find his way out. Can't get away. 𝘁𝗀𝗆𝗆 will pick up the kill. He's looking for a second. There it is. X marks the spot. The real treasure was the friends we made along the way. It's a triple kill. 𝘁𝗀𝗆𝗆 charging forward. Can we get a support penta? I don't think so. He's pulling on back. There's the quadra. Nah, it doesn't matter.
Get down here.
Blaze is on the other side of the map. He's actually recalling, but he won't get there in time. Unfortunate. No pentakill for Mr. 𝘁𝗀𝗆. Just the quadra. But I don't think supports are going to complain about getting a quadra kill.
Scumbag Blazers not joining in on the fight to give over the pentakill, but...
This is ridiculous.
What's my
the
job
gold
here?
lead at the moment? It is 15k. What is your job here? It's a good question.
What is my job here? I can talk about the builds, I guess, but does that matter? Oh, by the way, Gale Force is completed for Vayne.
Yeah. And,
still no Stridebreaker.
Still no Stridebreaker. Yep, there it is. Wow. This is top lane domination. It was not just the top lane that caused it, of course. I mean, one thing to talk about. This is a really nice Pyke skin. Pyke's got some really good skins.
He does have some really good skins.
This is Psyops. I really like it.
I still feel like I still like Pyke's base skin, but really I just like Pyke's dance more than anything. That's my favorite part of him.
Let's have a look at this replay though. This is where 𝘁𝗆𝗆𝗆 popped. 𝘁𝗆𝗆𝗆 popped off.
Yeah, this is where 𝘁𝗆𝗆𝗆 pops off, and he gets the ult set up, and then it's just the team giving him everything he needs. He's Pyke at this point. He's gotten the ult reset. He just needs to press R. That's all he does. Presses R very well.
Who do you reckon's going to win this game? It's pretty close. Do you reckon SGB's got a chance?
Going off that last game, I still think we're going to see some big Inferno ults. Get the shine roll.
There is a Rift Herald.
That's a Rift Herald. Yeah.
Oh, we could get Dancing Shelly.
No, we can't get Dancing Shelly.
It'll have to charge 3
way
times.
Too early.
Yeah, no Dancing Shelly. Damn, come on. Why couldn't we have Dancing Shelly?
By the way, KenKen's dead again.
Yeah, that's what, 𝘁𝗆𝗆 9 now?
𝘁𝗆𝗆
09?
𝘁𝗆𝗆 8 at least.
The Nexus towers are falling. Another support goes down. Sorry, another support, another inhib. Wow, this game is killing me as well.
It's
SGB
about
will...
as useful as a support this game.
SGB will
Slightly
back
more
on
useful.
off. Oh, not if you're 𝘁𝗆𝗆𝗆. SGB back off. Blazers teleports to farm. Yeah,
Sus.
this is definitely a game.
KenKen 9.
Yeah, 0-9. Wow, this the worst KDA? What is the worst KDA in one game in professional history? Because this has got to be getting up there.
I think it's still technically Blazers right now at the 0-6.
Well, I mean, okay, how max deaths without kills. You are right.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's probably more. I don't doubt that it's more, but it's got to be pushing it. 9 deaths is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there was that one game in Korean Challenger, OGN Challenger or whatever.
That's not a tier 1 league for a region then. As they do dive on forward, they pick up one. 𝘁𝗆𝗆𝗆 wants another, but he can't quite find it. It's actually traded back. 𝘁𝗏𝗏𝗏 predicting the Justice Punch quite nicely.
His hooks have been very good. It's just they don't lead to anything because they can't lead to anything.
Oh, 𝘁𝗆𝗆𝗆 picks up the kill with the tip of the spear. And they're going to charge on forward. They want to try and save 𝘁𝗏𝗏, preserve his KDA. Everyone turns gold. The awards are being given out. And Shine says, haha, I'm going to look like a good little KDA goblin as he goes forward, picks up a few kills, but it doesn't matter because his Nexus is being threaded down. He gets hooked, and they say your KDA will not survive as the Nexus is targeted.
His gold with that shutdown.
There it is. The Nexus explodes. SGB have taken one of the most dominant wins we have seen in a long, long time, and particularly one that did not involve 𝘀𝗻𝘁. My, oh my, what a series.
That was just disgusting to watch. Lovely bit of a palate cleanser before we get to a hopefully an actually nice competitive match of the week. Yeah, the match of the week should be up next, and we got a bit of a side show. That's your opening band. They're very entertaining, but they're not very good.
Yeah, there's a good song. Look it up on Spotify. Nobody Likes the Opening Band. It's a good song. Really sums up that series because that was a stomp.
The only issue with that song is it's a very low energy song where that was not low energy at all.
True. That's true.
But
we will be back in a little bit. I hope production's ready for us to go to break. For our match of the week, SBTC taking on Cerberus. The battle for second. Pretenders versus contenders. We'll have to decide which is which. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in maybe about half an hour. So maybe go get a drink. But be back in time. You won't want to miss it. It is our match of the week here on VCS English.
Who the hell do you vote for that game?